Everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Emily. If you're new here, I'm the homeschool hopeful. I'm hopeful that my videos will encourage you to homeschool. Today I wanted to make a video explaining why I am all aboard the MasterBooks train and why I went from being a sort of skeptic to absolutely 100% solidifying my curriculum with them for the next 4 years for my son's high school. Now, in order for me to explain why I am deeply in love with MasterBooks now, I have to back up the story and tell you what happened. I pulled my son, who was in 7th grade at the time, out at Christmas break. So it was a very, kind of weird transition time. I wasn't exactly sure what he was learning, which that's one of the reasons why I pulled him out. But nevertheless, I couldn't figure out what he needed, but I knew he needed remedial phonics and reading. From Christmas until basically this past June, that's all we had been working on was remedial phonics and reading. When I went to pick his language arts out for his 8th grade year, I had landed on Christian Light Education. It has a lot of structure, a lot of review at the end, and I thought that's what he needed because that was what had been working so far as he transitioned to homeschool life. As we were going through the lessons, I was quickly seeing that this was more hands-on for me than I needed from him, but he couldn't do the work. So it was also too hard and too challenging for him. And I'm not saying I didn't want to challenge my son. I definitely did. That's why I went with Christian Light. I knew it was more challenging and rigorous. The lessons would take us between 45 minutes to an hour, and that was him working diligently, not being lazy or anything, and with me right beside him. I began to do research, and I came through with MasterBooks. I mainly chose MasterBooks because of the gentle approach that they say they have. The lesson times are 30 minutes at most, and my son did his first lesson today, and he was able to fully do it by himself. I love the approach that MasterBooks has taken with this curriculum. They do everything, but it's not on the same day, and that really has worked for him so far. As my son is a struggling reader, there's enough reading to where I know he can do it on his own, but he's not overwhelmed. In his Christian Light Education, it was a lot of reading, a lot of small text that would take him a very long time, and as soon as he just looked at the book, honestly, he just became so discouraged by it. And I was pretty hesitant about using MasterBooks because I had heard it was like an easier approach. But that's also why I was kind of drawn to it, because the more that I saw people doing flip throughs and reviews of it, the more I kind of realized that this was exactly what my son needed. It comes with a daily lesson plan, so he can just look in the front of his book and independently figure out what to do. When we were doing Christian Light, I had to go with him and walk through what I thought he could do for that day, because he could not finish an entire full lesson in one day. MasterBooks also incorporates a lot of memory verse and scripture writing within their curriculum. Now, Christian Light, they are a Christian-based company, but just from what I've seen and experienced with them, they are kind of like more Christian morals-based. As in MasterBooks, you're actually reading the scripture, you're reading the Bible verses that are imprinted in the curriculum. And I just prefer that for my kids versus, learning the good Christian morals, a story about the good Christian morals anyway. MasterBooks also gives opportunities to do something other than writing. Both of my boys, they really enjoy drawing. And one of the assignments my 8th grader can pick from is to actually read something and then draw a picture from the scene, which is perfectly in his wheelhouse, perfectly something he is capable of doing, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing those drawings. I think MasterBooks is the perfect blend of like a Charlotte Mason style approach with a textbook, if that makes sense. Charlotte Mason doesn't use textbooks, but I feel like MasterBooks is on the level that my child needs without having to answer so many questions. You know, they're more into the narration and how does this apply to your life versus answering a question, which was kind of like Christian Light Education was doing. Ultimately, when I got my hands on this curriculum and looked through it myself, it really solidified for me that this was what my 8th grader needed. And moving forward, he's going to be a MasterBooks kid. I'm pretty sure that all of his high school curriculum is going to be MasterBooks. This is just, it feels so nice to actually have a curriculum that your child can just open and go with and have it be from the same company, and you know, you can expect the same thing. And I just find it so refreshing because as I've been piecing stuff together, trying to see what will work and not work, I can solidify this one thing and be like, okay, my 8th grader works best with this curriculum. It just makes homeschooling more enjoyable and more exciting when you find something that works for your student and they also are not having a hard time with it. Like I said, I knew that the Christian Light Education was just, it was going to be a headache for both of us this year, and that's something I did not want. I didn't want my son and I to be butting heads constantly, you know, so I'm very happy with my choice for MasterBooks. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.